Ram trucks built to serve.
Welcome back. Time now for our rewarding performance, sponsored by Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? The debate continues to rage on over Saints backup to the backup quarterback Taysom Hill. Is he or is he not the next big star in the NFL? According to Jay Glazer, he just might be. Glazer said, no smokescreen. He's the guy. Sean Payton loves him, but it's not just him. The whole team loves him, not just Sean Payton. I think Sean was always hoping to unleash him on the league without anyone seeing him before, but now we've seen it with Lamar Jackson. He's a bigger Lamar Jackson. No, not a smokescreen. He likes him that much. He'll be the guy. He's with the perfect coach for that. Wow, Nick, not just Lamar Jackson, but bigger than Lamar Jackson. What do you make of what Jay Glazer had to say about Taysom Hill?
All right. So Jay's is plugged in as anyone covering any beat in the world. I would say if I'm Woj with the NBA, Maggie Haberman with the White House, and Jay Glazer with the NFL. The three people who cover their beats the best. So he's saying this because this is what he's hearing from the team. He said this at the Super Bowl with Colin Cowherd, just not the Lamar Jackson stuff. So I'm not doubting Jay's reporting. I am doubting everyone within the Saints that thinks this is viable or a plausible option. Some facts about Taysom Hill. When the next NFL season starts, he'll be 30 years old. He will go into his age 30 season with his career high for pass completions in a game being at 1. He's literally never completed more than 1 pass in any game, and he's only completed 7 passes, including the playoffs, in his career. The thing he appears to be worst at in the NFL is quarterbacking. Excellent returner, pretty good guy, slot receiver, dangerous running back. He's thrown for 169 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a pick in his entire career passing the football. Okay, but what about if Drew Brees went down? Well, we had an example of that. He went down for 5 games. Taysom Hill not only didn't start, he threw 1 pass in those 5 games total. And so, Jay Glazer's not the first one to bring up the Lamar Jackson thing. Brady Papinga, he won a Super Bowl with the Packers, called Lamar Jackson a poor man's Taysom Hill a few months ago. So I called Brady Papinga to try to understand what I was missing. And Brady was like, Nick, you didn't watch him at BYU the way I did. And I was like, you know what, Brady? You're right. I remember one Taysom Hill game at BYU against Texas. He played great. That was like 7 years ago. So I dug into it. Taysom Hill played 5 years at BYU. 4 of those years ended in season-ending injuries. His final year at BYU, the most recent time we've seen him play quarterback, here's what he did. He was 91st in the country in passer rating. He was 79th in touchdowns. He was 71st in yards. Now, in his defense, he was top 25 in one major statistical category his final year at college. Most interceptions. He was 24th in that. What are people talking about? I don't get it. This story, I've never understood it. I'm not anti-Taysom, but he's 30 years old. He's never completed more than 1 pass in a game. They could have played him last year, Wilds. They chose not to. He's Lamar Jackson? A rich man? What's happening? I feel like I'm in World 2 instead of Earth 1. I don't understand, Wilds. I just don't.
Okay. First of all, I love alternate universe tags, so fantastic. I don't know if he's the heir apparent, but he's certainly interesting. And Roger Sherman's article totally flipped me on this. If we can put up Roger's quote panel here, I'll read it to you. It seems like an obvious next step for someone like Hill to line up alongside another QB, take handoffs, and then throw the ball. I spent years dreaming about an NFL team fully buying into the promise of the 2 QB system used by Louisiana Monroe in 2012, in which the right-handed quarterback and the left-handed quarterback lined up next to each other in the backfield, with either capable of receiving a snap, taking a handoff, or throwing before or after the handoff. So then there was a hyperlink. So I'm like, all right, Roger, you got me. Take me to the hyperlink. Here's the hyperlink courtesy of Roger Monroe. This is just a normal play, okay? Normal football. All right, hey, we're playing Baylor. What do we have any tricks up our sleeve? What's our plan? And the coach of Louisiana Monroe, who I don't even know his name, is like, yeah, I've got a plan. How about we put 2 quarterbacks on the field? One's left-handed, one's right-handed. Okay, 14's out. Here comes Colton Browning and Cody Wells. Wait till you see this, Greg Jennings. What's going to happen here? All right. Oh, what? Wait a second. You're a quarterback. I'm a quarterback too. Greg, what happens in these next 2 plays is so fascinating. I feel like I'm watching a new sport be invented. And Roger Sherman got me so excited. Pass? Nope, it's not a running play. I'm throwing it. The next play, Greg, is even more interesting because Baylor is totally lost at this point. So if Sean Payton doesn't want to just give the keys over to Taysom Hill, because Nick has explained exquisitely that he's probably not, a traditional quarterback. But if he puts him out there with Jameis, who is on the roster, watch this play, Nick. Tell me you don't like this, Nick. You're not interested in this?
Okay, let me watch it. I'll watch it. I'm very intrigued on what's about to happen in the Baylor-Louisiana Monroe game.
Oh, no, it's a running play. Nope, it's a throwing play. Throwing the ball. Baylor's like, what is happening? Timeout. I'm totally lost. Roger Sherman did a fantastic job. Baylor quits the game like we have to relearn football. We're totally lost here. And here's the best part. Now I've got one more. Then I'll pass the ball to you, Greg. I'm sorry. Roger Sherman got me so excited. Last year, not only did Sean Payton run 2 quarterbacks at the same time, occasionally, if we can put up the tweet, he ran 3. He put Teddy, Drew, and Taysom Hill all on the field at the same time. Chaos is happening, Greg Jennings. We're in a new era of football. It's fantastic. So for that reason, I am pro Taysom Hill. What say you, Greg?
Did they win that game?
No, I don't know. But actually, that play with the 3 quarterbacks, Taysom Hill did a handoff to 0 yards. So look, it's not flawless. It's not flawless.
Okay, so here's my deal, and I'll touch on the article first and what Jay Glazer said. You know what? I agree with a lot of it because, again, as Nick alluded to, he's plugged in. He understands. He's talking to individuals within the organization who they're saying these things, and he's just being the conduit, the voice. However, I played receiver. So when someone can tell me that they've sold this to Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders, and they believe that he's going to be a passing threat the way that they've been accustomed to throughout their careers with Peyton Manning, with Drew Brees, with all these great quarterbacks, and that is their level of value and their level of impact will not be harmed because we're going to now turn our offense into gimmicks and gadget plays and let's throw the defense offside or off tangent where they can't have a beat on what we're doing. That sounds great. But you have players who may not buy totally into that because of the production and the level of production that they produce. Now, when it comes to the gadget plays and adding more depth at quarterback and having quarterbacks on the roster that can do multiple things, yes, Taysom Hill can do that. However, to say he's Lamar Jackson, we have not seen him in this league do the things that Lamar Jackson has done for an extended period of time. We've seen several players in this league come and make a splash for a moment, for a game, or a couple games. But for the duration of an entire season, we have not seen a guy do what Lamar Jackson has done. How do we know? Because he set records. Like Mike Vick didn't even do what Lamar Jackson did. So to compare him, I can understand the comparisons because he's a running quarterback. He's a little more reckless even than Lamar Jackson, which if you listen to what Nick said, which is why out of the 4 of his 5 seasons in collegiate play, he got injured. So we talk about Lamar Jackson and his decision-making with running the ball and how he has to be smart. Well, this is something that Taysom Hill obviously is going to have to do. He's going to have to be smart. He's a reckless quarterback. Not saying he's not a good one, not saying he doesn't have promise, but I just don't totally buy it.
Listen, he's not going to be Lamar Jackson. Up to this point in his career has been Tito Jackson, and we'll see if one day he can be Freddie Jackson. But Lamar Jackson's off the board. But Jenna, before the show, brought up a really good point, which was if they loved him so much, why'd they give Teddy $7 million last year? And why'd they sign Jameis this year? And now the one action they have made to show their faith in him is Taysom Hill's got a $16 million cap hit next season. So he does appear to be in their plans. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. But almost most importantly, before we finish the segment, I want to put something on the screen real quick. One of my online Twitter nemesis, Clipper Darrell, sent out quite the flattering tweet about our Jenna Wolf. Hashtag Woman Crush Wednesday, Jenna Wolf, my new best friend. I love how she keeps getting Nick right on his toes and their show FDF on FS1. Jenna's comebacks are fantastic. Must-see TV. Hashtag Let's Go, Fan Truth, Clipper Darrell Cares, Woman Crush Wednesday. How about that for one Jenna Wolf? Clipper Darrell, you got his Woman Crush Wednesday. Congratulations to you. Let's just marinate in it.
I love it.